Our next speaker is Aman. Aman's a worker activist who's struggled for a world free of divisions based upon gender, race, creed and nationalism. And that's what this campaign is about as well. Aman?
Everybody hears what the media portrays to a large extent, apart from the issues that could sometimes come up, and we don't hear it that often, typically in the form of what is literally happening around the world, in Iran as well. Insofar as the present revolutionary movement is concerned, there is a crackdown. Everybody knows the crackdown, and everybody knows about the thousands and thousands and thousands who have been imprisoned, tortured, executions have been rife, irrespective of the age, irrespective of the gender, and obviously the portrayal that there is the crackdown that is winning. The impression that is sometimes given is as if the crackdown by the Islamic State has, to some extent, been able to actually push back the struggles which are taking place. Well, that's far from the truth. I think this campaign, the committee has been struggling for, and its memorandum does suggest otherwise, and that is true. Insofar as the government of Iran is concerned, the government of Iran is a still Islamic Republic. But the society is very different to what it was pre-September. Practically all members of authorities of the Islamic Republic, all their variety of institutions, have all said there is no way that this society can go back to what it was pre-September. The change has occurred. And this change is not just in the form of the protests that we saw initially since September in the streets, but it has expanded and it has escalated. The escalation that we see today is to such an extent that de facto the morality police is non-existent. De facto, many women actually do not wear the veil. De facto, they cannot enforce many of the laws and rulings that they had before. That has changed. The society has changed. We see formation of groups of resistance and opposition, revolutionary variety of forms that they give to themselves in terms of the committees of the youth, committees of the students, committees of the pupils even, in variety of places that are continuously portraying the struggle that is taking place in Iran. Its form and shape has changed, but nonetheless, this is actually continuing and is escalating. We see growing protests against what the Islamic Republic is trying to push forward, and that is poverty. Poverty works sometimes a lot more than state security forces. Poverty is a means of actually holding everybody to the ground and not being able to work. We always said that people who are hungry don't think about politics. That's very true. And that's one of the tools that the Islamic Republic has been employing. The poverty line, according to the state rule and state statistics, has grown well over a third of the society. We're talking about a society of 85 million. Sata mentioned 5 million street children or street workers who are underage. This huge extent of poverty is a means of actually breaking down. And another tool that the Islamic Republic has continuously employed has been that of division. Many people do know that the idea is that we can all talk about how capitalism came to power, but the question is how does it stay in power, and that is by divisions. The fact that providing divisions, exasperating any avenue in terms of nationality, in terms of religion, in terms of gender, is how they stay in power. And the unity that we have seen across Iran in a variety of sectors, despite the nationalists and variety of other reactionary forces, has been the unity for struggle, for victory, for freedom, for equality. And that's what is different in Iran. I think the slogan that came out in terms of women and the issue of life and the issue of freedom is immensely strong, because its impact is not just in Iran. Its impact could easily be seen across the Middle East and worldwide. The issue of the rights and changes the issues with regard to the right of people to actually be able to elect their own representatives, to be ruled by themselves through their own councils, is reverberating across Iran, and that is the big alternative, and that alternative is the one that is presently showing itself in Iran. In this regard, we see obviously opposition to Iran from the right wing who has been continuously trying to update its own platform to trying to show an alternative to the Islamic Republic, and that is similar to what we have experienced in 1979, a change from above, a change that they could actually have one with the other, retaining the security forces, retaining the army. That is their intention. And to do that, they actually have formed platforms against the Islamic Republic, but with a change from above, without any participation from people from below. And these two alternatives, these two poles in Iran are present today. The society is becoming more and more polarized, and consequently what we see is two alternatives to the Islamic Republic. These two alternatives are in battle. The right wing does have its own support internationally. The right wing does have quite a large number of states, institutions, military forces, NATO, whatever else. They have all of that in their bag. What the people in Iran, what the working class in Iran needs is just as much its own solidarity with its own class across the world and internationally. And I think looking at it from that perspective, looking at it about the importance of showing this solidarity, it is important to see the meeting and the working of this committee and any international solidarity and its importance in terms of the changes in Iran. Anybody who might remember, I remember it, in 1979, soon as the Iranian Revolution was taking place, the dockers in Newcastle decided to halt the actual loading of any cargo which was aimed for at the time, the Shah of Iran. So there is root and connection between working class, which then didn't have solidarity committees as such. Today, we can actually do that consciously, programmatically, and continuously. And I think that is what is the message that is going through the International Day of Support today. Recognition that this time is not the same as the last. People cannot be bypassed. There is a huge escalation of protest. It takes its own shapes and forms. It is strong. It is strong enough that the Islamic Republic has recently had to announce an amnesty. They do it every year, amnesty for prisoners. But what that they're not saying is they have had a retreat. It's a retreat. The scale of it is different. But the thing is, it's recognition of the things that we have gained, establishment of what we have gained, and building on it for the future. The answer may take time, but at the end of the day, life is nothing but a struggle. So therefore, I think congratulations go to the committee. Congratulations do go for the Solidarity campaign. And we just got the beginning of a campaign, beginning of a revolution that keeps on going and going. And at the end, victory can only be our destination. Thank you.